Welcome to The Corner Kick, the new podcast about football. My name is Nathan and I'm with my co-host Aaron here.
Yo.
I'm a Man United fan. Aaron, would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a Liverpool fan and I hate Man United.
Typical there. This week we're going to talk about the headlines around football, what's happened this week, and mainly just the international games and the Nations League. So we'll start off with one of the main headlines this week. Harry Kane says Spurs are ready to achieve things under Jose Mourinho. Do you think they can win the Premier League?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that they've got the attack, but however, the defence, they haven't got the best defence, but Mourinho's hungry and he's ready, I think.
Jose is a defensive manager, though, so...
to be fair, you're right, but...
So surely that's where they're best at. I mean, you're on about Gareth Bale and Heung-min Son up front with Harry Kane. I mean, Bale hasn't hit the ground running yet.
Yeah, you're right, to be fair, but I always think that in the defensive areas, like the centre halves, they're always struggling, but they are a defensive team, but I feel like they can improve in that area.
Who would you bring in? They were linked with the lad from Inter Milan in the summer.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not too sure actually, because there's not that many centre halves in the Premier League that I would choose. They need like maybe a Johnny Evans or.
Could have Phil Jones off us. I mean, talking about centre halves, another club with problems at centre half is your team, Liverpool. Joe Gomez injured. Who plays at the back for them now?
Honestly, I feel like it's going to be a weak link for the rest of the season. So I honestly haven't. If Fabinho, if he's fit, I don't know.
Young lads, Nathan
Phillips.
Yeah,
the young lads. Yeah,
Williams.
That Nat Phillips looks decent, but it's a tough one because it's a hard role to fit. But I reckon in January they might maybe have to get like a loanee, maybe, or not too sure.
Who would you get on loan?
Good question. Do you have any suggestions?
I mean, Koulibaly is always linked with the Premier League, but if you go and get him, then what's Van Dijk going to do when he comes back?
You're right, I know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe an experienced one. I can't think of any experienced ones top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, you said Johnny Evans, but he's not going to go to Liverpool with his Man United.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we just have to give one of the young ones a chance, like Nat Phillips. Not too sure about that Van
der Berg. I mean, you could tempt Conor Cody from Wolves. He's a Scouser, isn't he?
Oh yeah, you're right there. But yeah, I think he's settled in at Wolves though, so he's got a good
his boyhood
there, hasn't he? Sorry?
His boyhood club.
You're right. He has been there before. Could come back.
One player that's been linked with a return to the Premier League and actually Wolves, in fact, is Cristiano Ronaldo.
I heard about that.
But from my point of view, he's probably wanting another contract because this happens every time he wants a contract. He's been linked with Man United, Man City, and Wolves. Obviously, the Portuguese links. That's why Wolves. Man United, he could afford his wages, but ever since he's left Man United, every transfer window, he's been linked back to United.
Yeah, I don't know, with Ollie manager, I can't really see him going because I don't think it'd fit in as much, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I feel like Wolves, I don't know. Also, I feel he's got some Portuguese players already playing for them, so
yeah. I don't think there's anything in it, mind. I mean, obviously, Cavani's took his number 7 shirt, so...
Maybe if Messi goes to City, he might go to United, and there could be a derby next season.
One last dance. I don't know. I don't think there's anything in it. On to the next bit, we're going to talk about the friendlies, the international friendlies, which are ongoing. And one surprise result last night was Finland beating France 2-0. France had Pogba, Kante, and Luca Digne all involved from the Premier League. Was that a shock result, or are France on the downfall?
Well, the thing is about international football, you don't really know what's going to happen. Like our team England.
Yeah,
But,
you're right. I mean, the stats, it looks like France did dominate, 75% possession, 24 shots, so it could have been a bit of a...
You're
Was it
right.
a fluke? Was it a genius masterstroke play on the counter-attack from Finland?
Yeah, it must have been. I wonder how many shots they had. They probably only had about 2 shots.
Like a game of FIFA.
But like
One game
possession game isn't always the way. You have to have a bit of luck in football, and obviously that was their day.
One game that looked quite end-to-end was the Turkey-Croatia match. 3-3. Now, no Modric, Rakitic or Perisic, so it's a very different team to which played in the World Cup final a couple of years ago. Does that signal a new start to the Croatia team? Is it a new era, do you think?
Well,
or do you think
it's a bit of a poor result, in my opinion, but if they're trying to bring some young players in, fair enough.
Yeah.
But Turkey usually have experienced sides. Yeah, it was a standard game then, in my opinion.
I guess you could say 7-0 Portugal to Andorra was another standard game then?
Aye, well, Andorra have always been a weak side. I don't even know how many games they've won in the whole history, but Portugal winning the World Cup. The Euro, sorry.
When they've got Bruno Fernandes in the team, I mean, anything's possible.
I suppose, but if they've also got Jota in the team and all.
Yeah. And then on to England, you play tonight. While we're recording, I think, or the kick-off soon. They've got Nick Pope starting a goal over John Pickford. Are you happy with that?
In my opinion, I think Pope's overall better goalkeeper than Pickford. Pickford makes too many mistakes, in my opinion, and I think he's a bit... I've always thought you have to be over 6 foot to be a goalkeeper, and 5'11" isn't in that stature, you know. And I feel like...
Did you make the rules? Did you make the rules, like?
Well, if I was England manager, I would have picked Nick Pope, because Nick Pope plays in a team where your defence is only as good as your goalkeeper, and Burnley are really good at draws.
Yeah, he kept the most clean sheets in the league last year, Nick Pope. And you're right about Pickford. And what Gareth Southgate said the other day was Pickford doesn't have anyone challenging him at the moment. And I thought it was a bit insulting towards Nick Pope and Dean Henderson, because they're both putting a good shift. And Dean Henderson not so much this season because he's been in and out of the Man United team, but Nick Pope especially has been great for Burnley.
Yeah, you're right. Dean Henderson, I think, deserves that chance for Man United and for England, but I don't know when that chance will come, because Nick Pope for England, but he needs to get on the first team mark at Man United. But
he's not going to be starting for England until he starts for Man United, is he?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he needs one more final loan spell to actually prove to be United.
It all depends with what happens with De Gea, really, because, I mean, De Gea is always hit and miss at the moment. He can have a great game, then he can have an awful game. So, unless that problem's sorted out, or issues sorted
out. Right. But De Gea's only 30-year-old. He's probably got another 5 years in him, like, at United at least. So
it's just a question whether you're moving on. Back to England, though. Mason Mount and Jack Grealish start together. What does that say?
I think that is weird. Like, what's happened? What Southgate's been doing, not like playing one or the other. Like, he's got a bit of a, in my opinion, a problem with Grealish, like everyone's saying. But
yeah, you're
together.
Right. And he said in his press conference that the worst thing Mason Mount could do at the moment there is not be Jack Grealish, because he said everyone's talking about Grealish. He said everyone should be talking about Mount as well, basically.
Yeah, yeah, but
the Grealish has been on fire.
Grealish has got a bit of an arrogant side of him, but I also feel like he's one of the best centre midfielders, centre attacking in the Premier League at the minute, and he should be really starting for England like every game.
Well, yeah, he's been on fire. He's been on fire for Villa, and of course,
I'm on fire.
he helped Villa put 7 past Liverpool, and they put 3 past Arsenal
Don't
the
remind
other
us.
day. So he's on fire, yeah. And one player that could make his debut tonight is Jude Bellingham.
I
What do you-
haven't seen much of him, but apparently he's the next big thing, and he's at where's it now? Dortmund, is it?
Yeah, well, he must be good if they retired his shirt number. They might name a stand after him after tonight.
Bellingham.
Yeah, he's at Dortmund, and Jadon Sancho has been helping him there. So we could see him tonight, and hopefully it goes well. And moving on from the friendlies, we've got Iceland and Belgium in the Nations League this week. And Belgium won last night against Switzerland. Batshuayi scored twice. They didn't have Hazard or Lukaku. The Iceland game's gone ahead following confirmation of the government. So where do you think we'll be against Belgium, and where do you think we'll be against Iceland?
Well, England, Belgium. Last game.
It seems to be always quite a good game. I mean, it's been happening quite a lot lately. Quite in the World Cup, didn't we?
The thing is, Iceland, they're always a bogey team, aren't they? So it could be any result really. But in the Belgium games, we usually play bad against Belgium and win, and then when we lose, we play good. It's weird.
Well, we don't have Hazard or Lukaku, so it could be quite a different team that we see against England.
I suppose. But
Iceland have Denmark. I think it's tonight or is it maybe at the weekend? But they've got Denmark before they play us, and then I think that rounds off the group after the last 2 games. So we're third at the moment, but we're 2 points off the top. The both top teams are on 9 points. So where do you see us finishing in the group?
Well, if we get another win, I suppose.
If we beat Belgium, we go above them. So
yeah, well, I hope we do qualify, but
it's not the worst in the world if it doesn't, because it means less international games.
I can't beat the Premier League.
Yeah, you're right. So that concludes our first episode of the Corner Kick, and thanks for listening, everybody. Next week we'll be back from 12 o'clock, and we'll be discussing the international break, what's happened, and our predictions for the Premier League the following weekend. Thanks very much. See you later.
See you, bye.